Today's story is titled The Sheep Who Fell in Love with the Wolf, a tale of courage, love, and impossible choices. The entire valley fell silent that night, because standing at the edge of the forest was a sheep, standing beside a wolf. But how did something so impossible happen? Long ago, in a peaceful valley hidden between towering mountains and ancient forests, there lived a flock of sheep who believed the world was simple, the valley was safe, the grass was green, the sky was kind, and the forest was danger. Every lamb born into the flock grew up hearing the same warning whispered by their mothers. Stay away from the forest, because the wolves live there. Among this flock lived a young sheep named Elara. Elara was not like the others. While the other sheep spent their days peacefully chewing grass and gossiping about the weather, Elara would often lift her head toward the distant forest. She wondered about things. What did the forest smell like? What did the mountains look like up close? Were the wolves truly monsters, or were they simply creatures no one tried to understand? The elders often scolded her curiosity. Curiosity leads sheep to danger, they would say. But curiosity was a fire inside Elara's heart that refused to go out. Every night, when the sky turned purple and the moon climbed over the mountains, the oldest sheep in the flock would tell stories to the younger ones. Stories about the wolves. They are shadows with teeth. They hunt in silence. They have hearts colder than winter. And above all wolves, one name was spoken with fear. Kael. Kael was said to be the most dangerous wolf in the forest. The elders said his eyes glowed like cold fire. They said no animal who crossed his path ever returned. Whenever Elara heard these stories, she felt something strange. Not fear, but curiosity. How can someone be born evil? She wondered quietly, but she never asked aloud. One bright morning, the valley was glowing with golden sunlight. Flowers danced in the breeze, and the air smelled of fresh grass and spring rain. Elara was wandering near the edge of the flock when she noticed something unusual. A butterfly, but not just any butterfly. Its wings shimmered like tiny pieces of the sky, glowing blue and silver in the sunlight. Elara had never seen anything so beautiful. The butterfly floated gently through the air. Elara followed. At first, she only stepped a little farther from the flock. Then a little farther. Then farther still. The butterfly drifted toward the trees, toward the forest. Elara hesitated. She remembered the warnings. She remembered the stories. But the butterfly danced deeper into the shadows, and curiosity whispered softly in her mind. Just a little closer. Step by step, Elara crossed the invisible line between the valley and the forest. The trees grew tall around her. The air became cool and quiet. The sounds of the valley faded away, and suddenly the butterfly disappeared. Elara looked around. The forest felt different, still, silent, watching. Then she heard something, a soft crunch of leaves behind her. Her heart began to race. Slowly she turned around, and there, standing between the shadows of the trees, was a wolf. He was larger than any creature Elara had ever seen. His fur was dark gray, almost black, blending with the forest shadows. His eyes were golden, sharp, observing. This was not a story anymore. This was real. Elara's legs trembled. Every instinct screamed one word: run, but fear had frozen her in place. The wolf stepped forward. One slow step, then another. Elara closed her eyes, bracing for the end. But the attack never came. Instead, a calm voice broke the silence.
"You're very far from home, little sheep."
Elara slowly opened her eyes. The wolf was watching her, but not with hunger, with curiosity.
I was following a butterfly.
Elara said nervously. The wolf tilted his head slightly.
"A butterfly brought you into the wolf's forest."
Elara nodded weakly. For a moment, the wolf said nothing. Then, surprisingly, he laughed. Not a cruel laugh, a quiet, amused one.
"You may be the strangest sheep I have ever seen."
Elara blinked in surprise.
You're not going to eat me?
The wolf raised an eyebrow.
"Do you always ask predators that question?"
Elara hesitated.
Only when they're staring at me.
The wolf chuckled again. For the first time, Elara noticed something unusual. His eyes were not cruel. They were tired, lonely. After a moment, he spoke again.
"My name is Kael."
Elara's heart skipped. The legendary wolf, the monster from the stories. She stared at him in shock.
You're Kael?
"The terrifying beast from the bedtime stories."
He said with a faint smirk. Elara nodded slowly. Kael sighed.
"I should really speak with whoever is writing those stories."
For a few moments, neither of them spoke. The forest breeze rustled the leaves overhead. Elara finally gathered enough courage to ask something.
Why didn't you attack me?
Kael looked toward the distant valley, then back at her.
"Because I'm not hungry."
He paused.
"And because you looked more curious than afraid."
Elara swallowed.
Well, I am a little afraid.
"That's reasonable."
Kael replied.
"But you're still standing here."
Elara didn't realize it, but in that moment, something unusual had begun. Not fear, not friendship, but the first spark of something neither of them understood yet. The sun was beginning to set. Golden light filtered through the trees. Kael looked toward the sky.
"You should go back to your flock,"
he said.
"If the other wolves see you here, they won't be as patient as I am."
Elara nodded, but before leaving, she hesitated.
Will I see you again?
Kael looked surprised by the question. For a moment, he didn't answer. Then he said quietly,
"If you return to the forest, you probably will."
Elara turned and began walking back toward the valley. But as she stepped into the sunlight, she looked back one last time. Kael was still standing among the shadows, watching her, and neither of them realized it yet, but the story of a sheep and a wolf had just begun. If this story caught your attention, comment Part 2, and I'll continue it. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what happens next.